Good evening and welcome. We are live again. It is Thursday evening on the 21st of November 2024. My name is Jenny McCormac and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that here is in the UK. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've had a good week so far. It's Thursday evening. It's very, very cold here in the UK. We had some snow on Tuesday, which is still hanging around for us here. I know other parts have had a lot more snow and some parts haven't had any. But it's still hanging around here and it's pretty cold. So welcome. This is the stamp set that we have been using this week. It's called One of a Kind. So hello to Caroline and Carol, I think that is. If my eyesight is right. Thank you so much for joining us, both of you. And yes, it is Caroline and Carol. Thank you. So we have some cards that we've made at Copy and Card, and this stamp set has been really easy to use. You do need a nice firm surface to work on. Let me just show you a few of the colourways. So this is just using the stamp set on its own. Oh, hi Kerry. Good morning to you. I'm guessing it's early morning for you down in Australia. So we have this one here. So this is Night of Navy and Balmy Blue. Hi Trudy as well. This is a bit of Melon Mambo, and not sure whether the camera will pick it up, but that has got Wink of Stella on the snowflake as suggested and carried out by Caroline on Tuesday. This one is Lost Lagoon, and I'll come back to this one. And we've got this one here with Gorgeous Grape and Melon Mambo, and then this one here which is Petunia Pop. So for this particular set of cards, all we did was stamp the main snowflake. We used a blending brush to cover around the area. Hopefully you can just pick that up on that one there. And then we added the small snowflakes and those little swirls around the edges. One of the other options was to stamp the snowflake, the large snowflake, multiple times, and then add in the smaller snowflakes and the swirls, a little bit of blending brush if you wanted, and obviously the sentiment. So lots of different variations, and that was just using the stamp set, which is from memory is £17 for the whole set. And there is a set of 2 dies that goes with this, and they are here. They come in the cutest little package. It's very pleasing, tiny little plastic pocket to keep them in, and it has a snowflake and it has an outline. Now the outline will obviously cut out the stamped image like so, and that's this shape here. Hopefully you can see that okay. And obviously you can also use it with the die cut element to make that stand out. Let me just lift that up a little bit like so. So it really makes a pretty background. And there's lots of combinations you can do with these. So these ones here are all actually cut out of the pool party. And what I did for those was I used, for example, a blending brush. No, I didn't. I used a blends pen, went over it, and then die cut it to get a different colour. This one, if I put it onto the white tag, hopefully you'll see, it's sort of multi multicoloured. I went over once with a dark boho blue pen, and then I went over with Night of Navy just on these 6 points, so that you get a double layered snowflake. Hi Tracy, nice to have you join us. And obviously you can layer these together if you wish, and you can split them. Another thing you can do is you can trim this down to make a different shape of snowflake. Let me just grab a pair of scissors. So what you can do, I'll do it with this in the background, is you could take off these little points. You could take all of them off, or you could take opposite ones off. I'm just going to cut each of those points out, just to show you that you can change the look of the snowflake. I'll take that one. I'm just trying to do it with the point of the scissors so I don't cut anything else off. So now you've got a different look to that snowflake, so that you could layer that one onto there, for example, and that whole thing onto, I'll just pop it into here, onto there. Obviously you would probably use different colours, not the same. Actually, let's do that one onto that one, and then onto there, because it's slightly different colouring. Hopefully you can see that. So lots of different variation with your snowflakes. And I've got lots of these little pieces now. So what I'm going to do is stamp across a piece of, I was going to do white, but I might actually change that to be a colour. So I'm going to have a base card, which at the moment is white. Then I'm going to have a layer which is Night of Navy, and then I was going to have a layer of white. Yeah, I think I will stick with the white. I could do another one with a different set of colours. Actually, I do want a different colour, because I'm going to pop that on, I think. I'm going to do it that way. Snowflakes going across, and then this. So what I'm going to do is swap that out for a lighter blue. Let's see. I've got some pool party here. I'll just cut that down. So I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody's keeping warm. I don't know if you've had snow, Tracy, where you are. So let's see. This is going to be my inside layer. So this is going to be a centimetre smaller than a normal card base. So I can just either measure the centimetre here, or I can measure it 9.5, whichever. So this is going to go onto there. That's going to go onto there. I'm going to stamp my snowflakes going across the page, and then I'm going to introduce my little tag, which I'll either do at an angle or straight. I haven't quite decided. And then I will use some of my die cuts. I might even stamp across there as well, but use some of my die cuts here. As as my sort of focus point. So let's stamp some snowflakes going across first, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 snowflakes all together, and these lovely pretty little swirls. So let's grab that and a block, and obviously if you've got snowflakes from other sets you could use those as well. Let's put so we've got a large, a medium and a small. That looks like that is two large ones in one packet. That's because I've got three stamps there. I borrowed a couple of stamp sets from team members to make it a bit easier. So I might use that with Pool Party in my background. Just looking for my stack of inks, which I've just picked up and put down. And now I can't find them. Oh, there they are, right in front of me. As Caroline would say. Right, so let's get out Pool Party as the coordinating colour for that, and then Lost Lagoon and Night of Navy. So I'm going traditional colours. Oh, I might add Smoky Slate. That's way. Now this snowflake would also be good for a spinning aperture card. So if I crack on with this, I might be able to show you that quickly as well. So let's do, we'll have our Pool Party, and I'm just going to go across that way. Am I? Just looking at that angle, whether that would be better. Undecided. Okay, pop that across. There's a car outside, that's what Woody is barking at. Okay, this might be too dark on its own. We'll have a look and see. I want one sort of either side of our tag. Yeah, that will work. And then I've got the smaller one, so I've got Lost Lagoon and Night of Navy. And I've got 2 on there. So I might just do these 2 together to save some time. Let's pop that one on there. We were saying the other day that this would make a good stamp set for doing a one sheet wonder. Carrie says that always happens when she's crafting. That doesn't know how many times she's had something in her hand, put it down and then can't find it. I'm glad it's not only me. That is all I can say. But yes, it does happen rather a lot. Okay, so let's introduce Night of Navy, because I've got a Night of Navy backing that I was planning on using. So let's use that middle-sized block for that. A middle-sized snowflake, I should say. So what you can do when you're doing this is don't get too fixated about it. After all, snowflakes are all different and in different places. Is you can just bring in your elements. So this could be whatever you want it to be. It could be a circle, it could be a square. So just use that as a reference point every now and again, and you can see if you've got any glaring gaps, for example. So I can see that I've got some gaps here, possibly over here, but don't get too bogged down. And I'm just using this angle, I think that's how I'm going to position my die cuts on there, together with a sentiment and probably some ribbon. So I'm just going to add a few swirls. Temptation is to go all the way over, but I want the effect of it sort of just going across. So I'm just going to add in, although this will be light, some of those little swirls in Smoky Slate, if it will show up enough. So I'm just going to pop this on here. And these little swirls you could use for anything. They're great for little birthdays, things like that. Okay, so there's my background. I know you can't see the swirls very well. Maybe just in the light you'll see them. And then let's have a look and see what that looks like across there. Yeah, I think that will work. So what I might do is stamp a sentiment on the bottom of that. Let's see, sending a flurry of happy wishes would be great, wouldn't it? Very appropriate. So let's find that one. And I quite like that some of these are little block sentiments. Let's grab that block there, is a little bit covered in ink, got a bit carried away. Okay, don't think I've used this stamp on this stamp set, that's the wrong colour. I did that the other day, didn't I? Okay. Sending a flurry of happy wishes. And so this is going to go, I think, either at the bottom or on the right. Let's see what space we've got. A bit tight there, but it will work there. So just lining that up. So I'm going to put this on the right hand side, right in that corner. There we go. Lift up so you can see the sentiment. Sending a flurry of happy wishes. And then I'm going to add some of my die cuts. Now, let's see, that might be too big. I might want it a little bit more subtle than that. Let's see. There's my little one that I cut out. I think I'm going to layer those two up. And if you've got our fine tip glue pen, it's a good one to use for that. Because it's got literally a fine tip, hence the name. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on the back. I do need to take my glasses off. And just going to put a little bit on each tip of each of those. This would also look nice if I'd cut it out in silver. but the main thing is you get the idea of the design. I don't know, I'm putting the lid on because I'm going to use that again in a minute. Okay, so this is the one that I cut the little pieces off. Just going to, and so this is Night of Navy onto Pool Party. You could also use a pen to colour in just a few elements. You could get the similar sort of thing by just colouring it in with a pen if you wished. So now I've got my two-tone. Hi Nicole, good evening to you. I hope you're well. Okay, so let's have this one down here, this one here, it feels a little bit too busy actually, so let's have, what I might do is I could stamp, because this will fit, in there. I could stamp that as a background. Let's just see. I want my multicoloured one really to be the interesting middle one. So what do we think? I'm going to stamp a couple of swirls, I think, on my tag. So let's do that next. So I've got the basic grey. Like so, and maybe that little Night of Navy snowflake. There's one. Yes, I'd agree, Kerry. The plain Pool Party one is getting lost. Definitely. I could colour it up. Or I could layer it onto that one. Or cut that outline out in a different colour. What do we think? Oh, this morning's Nicole's had a second driving lesson. Well done, Nicole, but now she's getting a cold. I have to say, I do feel a bit like I'm getting a cold tonight as well. I just feel that's too dark. Right, let's try plan B. Let's take this lighter one. No. No. Let's see. I could cut this one down so it's not as big. It's just a lot going on, isn't there? Almost too much going on, Jenny. Kerry says that's good. What, just like that with the one or with the layer behind? What I might do, I could put a blending brush onto that to make it that a little bit darker. Let's have a look. Find a blue brush. I've got every colour except blue at the minute. Right. I could also add a little bit around the white, but I think that stands out enough as it is. So let's try Lost Lagoon first. Oh, Nicole's been sneezing. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Nicole. They're a nice combination of colours, aren't they? So this is Lost Lagoon. So it's Lost Lagoon, Pool Party and Night of Navy. So maybe I'll just bring this in. Don't go dizzy watching me do this, will you? Hi Lynn, thanks for joining us live. I saw your message pop up. Well done. Okay. And hi Jazoo. Nice to have you join us. Okay, let's see. This makes a difference. So I'm just adding this layer behind. Okay. So this might then stand out a little bit better. This one. Just going to add a bit more because I want that pool party to stand out. Of course, I could have just cut one out in another colour, couldn't I? But it's one of those things, if you've already cut it out, then no need to waste it, just colour it. Or you could colour it with blends pens, which is what I did to get those other colours. Let's do that. Just darken the whole thing, and then it'll be a better contrast. So it's very apt that we did snowflakes this week for the snow that we've had that's still hanging around. Okay, that's better. So that stands out a little bit more against that, doesn't it? So there's our stamp background. There's our tag. And then this can go on with some dimensionals for a little bit of height. What do we think? That feels a better combination. Those are the wrong set of blues. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. So let's put these layers together first. So I'm just going to put that glue. Thank you, Yazoo. Just going to add some dots. So many of you probably have snowflake stamps in your stash if you've been crafting for a little while, or snowflake die cuts or something similar. So this would be quite easy to recreate. Let's see, how am I going to put that on there? That way, I think. And I could have stamped that snowflake on here as well, the larger one from the stamp set. Okay. So this is going to go onto here, and that is going to go onto there. Right. Let me cover these up before I put anything else in the ink pad. Thank you, Kerry, and Jazzy for the colours. And I think what I'm going to do possibly is do a little bit of this blending brush on my tag, just the edges. And we've got that lovely little swirl as well, not that you can see it very much, I don't think. Okay, that's going to go on there with dimensionals, and I'm now looking for some ribbon. Oh, I need my glasses back on. Right. So I have this, which is actually Summer Splash, which is slightly brighter blue, but as it's only a small area, I think I'll get away with it. It's very similar to Pool Party. I could use a Lost Lagoon pen, for example, on that, just to make it darker. Let's just try it on the end and see. And it's lovely when it goes onto ribbon because it just soaks straight in. You wouldn't want to do all 9 meters of this though. Okay, and you can see it soaked through to the back as well. I think I prefer the lighter one actually. I'll trim that little bit off. Okay, so just going to put a little bit on there for my tag element. Like that. Oh, I've also got that I could have used that lovely Pool Party pom-pom ribbon that looks like snow. Oh, quite tempted to use that now. What do you think? Either. I've cut this one now, so I might just stick with this. I think there's enough going on as it is. Okay, that will do. I'll tidy that little bit up. There and there, so it doesn't need to be too long. Okay, that's going to go onto there. That's going to go on top. Let's move everything out of the way. Oh, Jasu says definitely the second ribbon. Actually, yeah, now I've seen it. I think you're right. It's funny, isn't it, how a little bit looks okay. Let's just undo that. This ribbon comes in our Class in a Box this month. So pretty. Okay. Let's fold it through. As it's quite thick, I'm just going to do it singly and just tie a knot. You could use a little bit of baker's twine and just tie it up, but I quite like it with that detail on it. I'll trim the edges once it's in place. Okay, this is going to go on there, and I'm just using these two lines to get it straight to the edges of my card, and then my other little snowflake is going to go on, and then I'm going to add some bling. So thank you for that, Jazu. Right, let's pop some dimensionals on here. Oh, those are small ones. Might be here too long. There we go. So I'm in Buckingham on Saturday. If anybody's local to Buckingham and wants to come to our class, then I have a few spaces available. And we are doing Christmas cards. Hi Brenda, thanks for joining us. Hope you're keeping well, keeping warm. Okay. That's it, looks pretty straight there. So this is going to be our small layer, our front layer. Now I can trim this down. Going to cut at an angle between those pom-poms. I might need to cut this further, we'll see. Okay, here's our snowflake, which is just going to fit sort of in there nicely. That's going to go on dimensionals. I could also add Wink Stella to that. I'll just put 3 on. Should hold it in place nicely. And I just want those bits to sort of fit in around everything else. Does it need to be straight? That is the question. I was thinking it doesn't need to be, but now I've looked at it, it does. Like that. Sending a flurry of happy wishes. There's my... no, it's not. Well, it might be. My backing card. No, there it is. A piece that's the right size. There we go, that's going to go onto there. Let me put the lid on this. So the secret to putting this lid is, got this very fine pin on the top, is to put your finger behind it and then guide it in, which is always a lot easier when people aren't watching you do it live. I can guarantee. Got it. Hooray. Okay. Right, let's layer these two up. Grab some glue. So just using some wet glue on this, our Tombow glue. On that layer. So this is Night of Navy, this is Pool Party on the front, and this is 1/2 centimetre difference in size. So this is going to go onto a white card. Thank you, Lynn. So I did have it opening that way. I changed my mind, so let me find one that opens the other way and get some bling ready. I'm thinking just a bit of plain bling will do the trick. I have a whole pack of cards. Do you think I can? Yes, I can. I found them. Oh, talking about cards, a lot of people ask me, especially at Christmas, to prepare sets of cards and envelopes. So, if you're interested, I will be doing packs of 10 cards, 10 envelopes. In any combination of colours, so you can either specify an individual colour, so garden green and real red, for example, or you can just say, you know, a mixed pack of greens and reds or blues, or you can be specific as to which colour you would like, and that will be the base card and the envelope. So if you're interested in any of those, just let me know, and I can obviously post them at cost to you. Right, let's add a little bit of bling. Find my pokey tool. Thank you. So you could do these in all sorts of colours. So some of the other colours we had in the week were the pinks, purples. This is the same colour combination, and that's more blues and obviously the pinks. Greys is always nice as well. Let's put a larger piece of bling in the middle, like so. Not even in the middle. Let's take my glasses off to see that. Go, and maybe I'll just put one here and one here. Let's have a look, see, just so all on the tag element. There's one and two, so we've got 3 altogether. Remember, if it looks odd, just see where you've got an odd or an even number of embellishments or items. So there we go, sending a flurry of happy wishes. And I've got some of these spare snowflakes, so I could put one of those on the inside. This is one of my multicoloured ones. And these were all done, if you look at the back, these are all pool party. At least they started off as pool party. And then all I've done is use a blending pen, gone across the background and then cut it out. So if you haven't got the right colour of cards, don't worry, just use something that you've already got. Let's add in maybe this one and a couple of swirls. Here's my little swirl and smoky slate. That's okay, Kerry, thank you so much. There's my bit of paper gone. Here it is. So just have a little swirl coming in here. And put this one on top. And then another one here. Like so. Stick that in the middle. And then let's just use Hope You Have the Merriest Season Ever in the middle. And we're done. Let's pop this on with some of that fine teak glue. That's my pleasure. Thank you, Yazoo. Yazoo is a very talented crafter, and she does some wonderful hand-stitched cards. Absolutely amazing. She's got a lot more patience than I have. Put that top back on. I'll put this in between the two, like so. I know my fingers are a bit inky, so I'm just being a little bit careful not to press too hard with my fingers and get an ink splodge over it. There we go. And then I'll just stamp that sentiment on the inside. I use the Night of Navy. I do always recommend that your sentiments are a darker colour, especially if they're quite small sentiments. Because you want them to stand out. Let's just have a quick practice on there. There we go. Hope you have the merriest season ever. And I think I'm going to add the little snowflake either side. That's true, it could be Jack Frost's fingerprints. You're quite right, Lynn. There's one there. Try not to transfer the ink that's on that block. There on the left hand side. And also you can also decorate your envelope at the same time. So there we are. I've used that spare die cut on the inside. And there's our flurry of happy wishes, and I wanted it to look like a flurry going across the page, but you could have done it all the way over the background if you wished. And then we use that lovely pom-pom ribbon, which is pool party and little white pom-poms, and you can also colour that in the middle. Just be careful, but you can do the blends pen, so you could have red ribbon and little white pom-poms if you wished. Just so you don't be embarrassed, your cards are absolutely stunning. Absolutely. So there we go. Does anybody want to see how to do a hanging ornament in an aperture? Because I could do that probably really quickly if you wanted to. Just see if I've got another spare piece. Just die cut an outline, and while you're deliberating whether you'd like to see it or not, I can do it pretty quickly. There's another backing for that one. Yes, please, says Carol. Okay. And Caroline and Brenda. Okay. Right, let's put that to one side. So I'm just going to use a piece of I really just need to show you the sort of I can't think of the word. The the way it would go on a card. So let me grab a card base, and I'm doing this on a square card, but you could do it on any size card. And what you want to do is create an aperture here, both on a panel, which could be either on the outside or the inside. Now I'm going to leave the panel a different colour so that you can see it clearly, but you could do it in the same colour. And what we're going to do is cut an aperture out, which could be a circle, a square, anything you've got to hand. And then we're going to suspend, in this case, our snowflake in the aperture. And all we need to do is have two pieces that are the same, and we're going to put a piece of string through the middle and glue those down, and then attach that in the aperture. If that makes any sense. So let me see what I've got to hand. So I'm just going to put this on with a little bit of glue, because we're going to cut the aperture out. Thank you for wanting to see it. It's ages since I've done one, so it's always good practice. Let me just see if I've got die to hand. So you can use dies, you can use punches. You want to make sure that it's bigger than your element that you're suspending. So it's just about bigger. Let's see if the next one up will do. Yes, the next one up would be better. And obviously this could go on a standard size card. I quite like them in square cards. So all I'm going to do, I've just put this on temporarily. I'm going to cut through both of those layers together. So just going to pop that through the die cutting machine. The shape is irrelevant really. I've got a scarf, a beautiful scarf that my friend Linda gave me, which has got a fringe on. Can you see it? And the only thing I have to watch is that I don't run that when I'm using the die cutting machine, and get it wrapped round the handle, because I'd look a bit silly if I did. Okay, so what we're going to do is suspend our piece between these two pieces. Does that make sense? So let's grab, and I'm just using the two sides just to make it easier, and I'll put my snowflakes on, and let me just see, what have I got to hand? I just got a bit of this thread. Let me see if I've got some silver or gold, which would be nicer. I need to put my glasses on to find them though. Right, let's see. Well, this is very fine gold thread. It's called gold twisted thread, which is perfect. So, okay, here's the trick. Find the end. There it is. Okay. Grab a piece that's longer than you need. You don't want to be fiddling with tiny little piece. And can you see that okay where I am? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this onto one piece and then sandwich the other one on top. So this is where these two pieces need to be the same, but it doesn't matter what they are. You can use tape, you could use glue. I'm going to use tape. And it's quite nice if you've got a shape that has a centre. So a circle is quite hard, but something with a centrepiece through it. So we're going to attach that onto there, like that. Oh, bless you, Kerry. You're minding a cat. So we're just doing a suspended aperture. So I've just got a circular card. No, I haven't. I've got a square card, but I've cut a circle out of a panel and that. And then I've got my snowflake, which I'm going to sandwich between with a piece of gold thread. Just going to use glue for this piece. Obviously this is just a really quick, simple sample. Let me put a bit of glue top and bottom because I don't want it to go sort of at an angle. Okay, I put tape underneath to hold that in place, and then I'm going to put this piece on top. And I've just chosen different colours so you can see it, but you could do them obviously the same colour. So you just want to make sure you've got that piece basically sandwiched in between. So you can see I've got the two colours like that. You can decorate this up then. So I won't do a lot of decoration, but I do want to give that a minute to set. So I'm just going to pop these on the inside. You can do this with anything. Doesn't even have to be a shape, because what you can do is, for example with this flower, is you could put the flower onto a circle and then have the circle as the sandwich, because you won't have a flower that unless you're not stamping it, that is the same on both sides, if that makes any sense. Let's just put a tiny bit of glue on these two. What sort of cat are you looking after, Kerry? I wonder. There we go. And thank you, Kerry, for your exciting parcel which arrived yesterday. I have been very good and not opened the cards. You're very sweet. Okay, so I just put some glue on there. Obviously you can take your time to do more with that. Okay, just going to pop this on here. So this is the pool party one. I suppose I ought to poke out those little pieces. So that one's going to go on there. Oh my goodness, 17. That's a great age for a cat. One of ours is, Zach, I think is 15. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I thought it was a darker one. Never mind. It will go on now. Okay, it serves our purpose, that's the main thing. So the thing is, you've got something on both sides. It can be the same or it can be a contrast. And then all we're going to do is suspend it in here. So we're going to, and the easiest way probably is tape top and bottom. And then this piece, to hold it in place, is going to go on the top. So let's pop some tape on. Just bear in mind, you know, that you've got these I'm quite close to the edges. Oh, hi Scylla, thanks for joining us. Doing a little ad hoc design. This is the card that we've made this evening, using the tag shape from Merriest Trees and the one-of-a-kind stamps and dies. I hope you had a nice weekend away, Scylla. I'm sure you deserved a nice break. Okay, so this is going to hold our string. Doesn't really matter how it ends up, but you do want to make sure it's central. So if you've got grid paper or something, that would be really useful to make sure that you've got it in line. I'm just going to do it by eye, and you want that nice and tight as well. I'm going to show you a trick for when you put it in the card, which is you spin it round so that when the card comes out it automatically will flip around. And then this layer, I'm going to trim that off in a second, it's going to go on top. Can't remember exactly what I could have done was marked it top and bottom, but I think that will be close enough. So I'm just going to put wet glue all the way around this edge, around the aperture especially, but not too much glue. You don't want it, you really don't want it oozing out, like so. Put some in the corner, and you want this flat. You don't really want this on dimensionals because you want it a really nice fit. Pop that on the top. As I said, I've chosen to do this on a square card only because it's sort of easier to centralize it. Okay, so you can see how that's come together. Quite lined up, but it will be close enough. Okay, right, and there's our spinning aperture, like so. Going to trim this piece off, and you want to trim it as close as you can get. Sometimes I will trim it before I stick the top layer on, but for speed I didn't do that here because I would let it set a bit longer. So there's our spinning aperture card, and then what you can do when you go to put it in is you can turn this a few times, like so. You need to make sure it's well set before you do that, otherwise you can just pull it out of there. Okay, like so, and then when it comes out of the card, comes out of the envelope, it will flick itself round, and that's your spinning aperture card. Hopefully you can see that. Ideally I could have gone down a size, because the downside of that is you have to be careful where you're going to put your message, but you could make sure that you fitted it in there. So actually these little sentiments here, sending a flurry of happy wishes, would fit in there really nicely. So I could get away with stamping that. Let's do it. And then I've got another card for my stash. I sold a lot of them on Saturday, so my Christmas card stash took a bit of a beating, but I'm not complaining. Okay, so I'm going to just put this in the middle. I know it's fairly small. I'm just guessing where it needs to go. Oh, thanks, Yesu. So there we go. So that's going to fit on there. If this comes away a little bit too loose, then what you can do is just lift this up and glue it back in. But the thing is, don't spin it too much to start with, because you don't want it to go too wobbly. But once you've done it, and it's quite fun actually with two different things on it, is just do it like that, pop it in the envelope, and then when the recipient gets it out and they open it up, it will spin. and it does look rather nice on the mantelpiece. A little bit of interest. Don't know why I haven't done more of those recently. Anyway, perfect for snowflake cards. I thought of that as soon as I saw the die cut actually. So that was our additional project, just to show you how to do it. Caroline likes the idea. As I say, you can use all sorts of things. You can use punches for your aperture. It can be a shape. But what you want is something obviously that is well clear of what you're putting in the middle. But what you're putting in the middle could be a penguin. It could be a snowman. Anything that you can die cut or cut out manually that is the same, that's symmetrical. That's the word. Same on both sides. So yeah, from the recent snow set, or bells, snowflakes, characters, polar bears, you name it really, as long as you can fit it in. Trees are always nice. Trying to think what else I've got on here from our class. So you can have a little penguin in the middle, or the little house. If you've got the house and home bundle, I'm sure it's not called that, the house builder punch that's got the little house on it, that would be quite fun, because you could have a scene behind here from the designer series paper, and then have whatever it is in the middle. Bird, you name it. Snow globe. Oh yes, that would be quite fun. If you've got those small round snow globes. Let's have a quick look, see if I've got my paper to hand. It's probably buried. It is buried somewhere. But with the Snow Wonder papers, they've got small circular snow globes. That would be fun, because you could have 2 different snow globes. And yeah, that would be good fun. Hi Vivian, thanks for joining us. We're just wrapping up, I'm afraid. But thank you. So that was an extra with a little aperture and our snowflake in. But this was the card that we were making this evening. I wanted to introduce the dies, which I've done here. So there's just 2 dies in the set, just £13. And if you buy the stamps and the dies, obviously you get the discount. And there is an outline die, and then there's the detailed snowflake die, which you can cut down as well. I just snipped off those edges and layered them up. You can cut them out in glimmer paper if you wanted, that would be fun, or silver, gold, or any glittery paper you might have at home. So thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you maybe give that a go. This design you could use for anything going across there. It doesn't have to be snowflakes. It could be balloons, could be hearts. You could recreate that for anything like that. And then this one, as I say, you could recreate with different elements on the inside. Looks fun. Great for kids' cards as well. You could have a circle with their number on for their birthday. That would also be fun. Here's the other smaller die that I was mentioning. So there we go. I've gone on enough, but we did have at least 2 projects, so that doesn't make me feel quite so bad. Thank you all very much indeed. As I say, I've got class on Saturday. I'll be busy with that. Class in the Box will go out early next week, and I look forward to crafting with you on Monday. Monday morning will be a new stamp set of the week. It'll be non-Christmas, and I've got some fabulous new products coming and new catalogues coming out, ready for, would you believe, January. So watch this space. Thank you so much, everyone. Do take care, and look after yourselves, look after your loved ones especially, and keep crafting. Bye for now.